2023 has been a doozy when it comes to the market, or has it? In this video, I'm going to talk about everything having to do with the Charlotte market and what we've seen in the last 11 months in Charlotte. That's right, the Charlotte region. So if you're looking for everything Charlotte, North Carolina, the ins, the outs, everything in between, including South Carolina, you've come to the right channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. But specifically in this video today, I'm going to highlight what has gone on over the last 12 months, some of the differences and changes, and what you can expect into 2024. Because guess what? That back order crystal ball has come in. Okay, not really. We're going to hypothesize, but go with me on it. So what has the market been like in Charlotte, North Carolina? Well, I'm gonna get into it, but before I do that, you guys know why you're here. This is 𝗖𝘁. I'm a local real estate agent in Charlotte, and I truly do get calls, texts, emails, Zoom invites every single day from people just like you looking to move to the area. All of my contact information is in the description below. If you are looking to move to the area, you want more information, whether it's 9 days or 90 days, and by the way, I know you guys call me before 90 days, and I love it. Whether you're going across the country, the world, or local, I'm here to make your move exactly what you want it to be. Now, part of making that move is knowing what the heck is going on here. Now, while I've heard it from professionals in our industry and pretty much everybody, oh, the market is bad. Guess what? The market isn't quite what we think it is. And I'm gonna uncover this for you today, but I'm also gonna give you a little bit of future insight into 2024 and what you can expect in the upcoming year, per the experts. But let's go ahead and give you a year in review. Now, as of the time of this recording, it's November, but what we have are the statistics from October. So that is what I'm going to be using for our conversation today, but it's gonna give you quite an eye-opening view of what's really going on. Now, what we have heard is that sales are down, there's not enough homes, etc., etc. What I'm here to tell you is based upon my experience over the last 12 months, we're really not seeing that. Now, there are some agents that think the sky is falling. I'm going to tell you, yes, it is taking longer to sell properties, but here's the interesting thing. My sales are not down, and I think this is why. Part of it, I think, is in our heads. If we think that things are bad, we see things as bad. I like to see the world as the glass half full, so maybe it's just me being positive. But the cool thing is, once I saw the stats, I knew it was right. Now, the reason why a lot of sales are not down is because across the board, and by the way, I've got my stats right in front of me here, across the board, we're still seeing significant sales. Now, October of 2023 versus October of 2022, we still see that sales are about the same. In fact, it only decreased by 2.3%, meaning in 2022, the sales in October were 1,242. In October of this year is 1,214. Very, very close. Now, here's the very intriguing part. Pending sales in October are actually up by 5.9%. What this means is, over last year, we actually have more pending sales now than we did this same time last year. That's a pretty big deal. Now, I'm sure you've seen some of my other videos talking about the market and what we're seeing in the market. We are down right now when it comes to active listings. And that's what some people get a little bit leery about, is that, oh, we're down on active listings, we're down on buyers, the market is down. The interesting thing is, yes, right now we might be lower, but there's also less available buyers. We all took Economy 101 at some point in our lives. Demand and the amount that's actually available is what's going to create pricing. Here's what I have to tell you. While some sellers are still pricing their houses a little bit higher than they should be, most of them are right on the nose. But what we're seeing is buyers are having more of an advantage, especially compared to what they had in 20 and 21, because there are fewer buyers making offers, homes are sitting longer, which leaves more opportunity to get closing costs, potentially some rate buy downs, or getting the home for a lesser price. Now, little side note here, I don't recommend negotiating for a lesser price if you're only talking $5,000 to $10,000. Here's why. Instead, if you can get that in closing costs or get it towards a rate buy down, even if it's just a 2-1 buy down, 2% year one, 1% year two, and then back to the original. If you can do that, that's going to save you way more than the few dollars it's going to save you if you just reduce the overall purchase price by $5,000. Now, will you recoup that when you sell the house? Of course you will. But most people want actualized money now because we never really know when we're going to sell. So let's take a little bit of a closer look into some of the other trends that we're seeing. The next myth that I've been hearing is, oh, well, the market's going down, house prices are going down, quote unquote, I'll wait till it crashes. Newsflash, you guys, it is not going to crash, at least certainly not in Charlotte. Here's some interesting facts that you need to understand. In the Charlotte market, this is Charlotte proper and the surrounding areas, we're seeing an influx of 100 people per day, 250 people per day in the state, but just 100 here in our region. Now, what that's doing is, because we already have a limited supply of homes, and because we have an influx of people moving in, and we already had buyers that were wanting homes, but they perhaps can't get approved for one yet due to the rates, we have this holdup. Picture a dam, if you will, with buyers behind it. Once those gates are open, when interest rates drop, guess what? We're gonna have more people flooding the market, but we're also gonna have more sellers that are willing to sell because they know they can be more competitive. Again, supply and demand. So let's get back to that myth that the market is crashing and prices are going down. Many people get this because they're seeing homes that are selling for less than the asking price. But here's what we're actually seeing. The median sales price and average sales price from this year versus last year are both up. In fact, the median is up by 3%. That's pretty significant. A lot of people talk about averages. In fact, I think the median sales price is a better thing to look at because it's showing true value. Because you are going to have those houses that are way expensive and the ones that are way less expensive. The median really is going to show us a true color of what's going on in a region. But let's talk about averages as well, because people like to talk about averages. So how much did the average price go up year over year in the Charlotte market? Compared to October of last year, the average sales price went up 8.7%. 8.7. So you cannot tell me that we are losing profits on properties, that we are losing out in the market. It's just not happening. Are some houses selling faster than others? Absolutely. Are some people giving closing costs and concessions? Absolutely. But the fact of the matter is, the stats don't lie. We are seeing higher sales prices, we are seeing about the same amount of homes sold, and we're seeing more homes under contract than there were this time last year. So what does this all lead to? Well, let me explain a little bit more to you. This means that we have a pretty stable real estate environment in the Charlotte region. We still have buyers, we still have sellers, we have a steady growth, but I'm going to really highlight that word, steady. The insanity of 2020 and 2021, I don't even want to relive as an agent. Yes, it was the Wild West and it was great, money was flowing. Here's the thing though, buying a home wasn't as much fun. You were going up against these big corporate entities that were throwing cash on the table and saying, hey, do you want it? And of course, most sellers would say yes. There's no contingencies, there's no issues. You were having people out of California, no offense, who were flush with cash after selling their house for $1 bajillion, and they were coming here, and they were throwing cash on the table. People were not able to get into homes, although the rates were low. It was challenging. You're going up against 40 offers. And I'm not even making that up. I am a listing agent. I sell houses as well as a listing agent and list them. We were receiving 40 plus offers on properties in the first 48 hours. It was bananas. So, steady, stable, that's what we want to see. And by looking at these numbers, that's what they're showing. They're showing that we're having a stable increase. In a normal market, we see anywhere between a 6 to 10% increase in overall price point on average. Now, I say that because it's not just Charlotte, right? It's Charlotte, it's Matthews, technically it's a part of it, but not for these statistics, but I'm gonna name it, Fort Mill, Rock Hill, it's Mooresville, it's Davidson. These regions truly make up that average. So 6 to 10%, we're sitting at 8.7 average. That is phenomenal. That means we're seeing growth, and a lot of that is also coming from the economy. The economy in Charlotte is strong. We are the second biggest banking capital in the United States. With that are coming jobs, additional companies that are moving into the area. We are booming. Now, while I wouldn't be getting into the commercial real estate world anytime soon, especially if it's an office space, but that's a video for another day, the residential real estate market is booming, and it is stable, and it is a good time to get in. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an agent. I also invest in real estate properties as well, and although the rates are high, here's what I'm going to tell you. It's a lot lower than it was back in the 80s. And I know some of you are nodding your head going, well, duh. Yes, they're a lot lower than they were in the 80s. But what we do know is that there's some changes coming. So let's go ahead and pull out that crystal ball that I said I got on back order. This is it. It's not real. Sorry. However, this is what we're hearing from some of the bigger, I guess you could say, individuals that are in the industry a little bit closer to government. We're going to see a decrease in what? In interest rates. So here's what you can expect. When the interest rates decrease at any variable amount, we're going to see buyers coming back into the market. Now, don't worry, this isn't something that's scary. I know I already told you it's gonna be, oh my gosh, it's insanity of 2020 and 2021. It's not gonna be like that because it's not gonna go that low. It's going to move into a space where we are going to have more buyers on the market, more sellers willing to sell because now they can go buy something and move, right? So we're gonna see a nice flow. Now this happens when the economy gets kind of, well, stalled out, which is what we're seeing right now. The Fed has to do something to keep the money moving because unless money is moving hands, the economy isn't moving. So by reducing that interest rate, we're going to see that. Now, what are they gonna lower it to? I don't know, but it's going to be significant, which is a good thing. And it's not gonna come overnight. It'll be gradual. So it will allow people to kind of get warmed up to the fact that things are coming down. So why would I say it's a good time to buy now if in the future I just said that we're gonna have lower interest rates? Let me lay it out for you. If you have the ability to buy now, as a buyer, you have the upper hand. I'm sorry, sellers, but it's true. If you don't have a lot of buyers in front of you making offers, you're going to have to look at the offers that are presented and negotiate and come to a win-win agreement. So as a buyer, however, you have a little bit of an upper hand because there aren't as many buyers. You can make an offer and actually potentially get some closing costs, potentially get a rate buy down. This is going to hold you over until the rates do drop, and then you can refinance. I tell people this all the time. You can refinance whenever you want. So get the house while you can get it at a lower price than what's on market, or at least get some things that are given to you, like maybe closing costs and rate buy downs. When the rates do reduce, go ahead and refinance. So now you got the house at a lower price. You've already built equity over that time. And now you have a lower rate, lowering your payment. Now, while everybody else is out there running around finding houses because they're excited rates have dropped, you already found the perfect home. And as we saw here, waiting even just 1 year is going to increase the price by potentially another 8.7%. It's not a bad move to go ahead and get in now, and it could actually earn you / save you thousands of dollars. Now, one last piece that I wanted to go ahead and point out here has to do with the list price, because I do get this question a lot. Well, Kayla, the list prices, they're not selling for what it's listed for. I know you said that things are selling for more, but how could that be if they're selling for less? Well, let's look at this. List price does not mean sale price. See, list price is what someone's asking to be paid. Sales price is what two parties agreed was the fair market value that they were willing to pay for that property. While the listings in the area might be for something higher, what we see as the actual sold price is what appraisals are going to be based on. So with that being said, all of the values are based in an area upon the sold price of a property, regardless of how much under the list price it went for. And I've seen some crazy list prices. So as I mentioned earlier, the actual price, I say over time, over the last year, has increased with a sales price on average of 8.7%. Guess what? We've seen a list price increase by 12.6%. See, they align. This actual list price has gone up 12.6%, but the actual sales price has gone up by 8.7%. That difference is the middle is what we're seeing of people going ahead and reducing their prices once they get to market, seeing it's too high, or agreeing to a lesser purchase price. So in this kind of market, don't pay so much attention to the actual list price and understand that although it's listed at a specific price, the seller may be willing to negotiate with you and take a lesser dollar amount. It's all about a win-win, and I know we can make that happen. So I hope you got some of your questions answered, and if you have more, drop them in the comments below. That's why it's there. I would love to get back to you and answer all your questions. Now, all of my contact information, as you know, is in the description below. I truly want to help you make a move. So whether it is 9 days or 90 days from now, whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across town, be sure to give me a call, text, and email. I'm here to help you make your move exactly what you want it to be. Until next time, I look forward to showing you around town.